If you use a dynamic microphone for recording audio, whether that be for videos or live streams, using a microphone such as the Shure SM7B, you'll have probably hit a certain issue, and that is that the microphone signal will be far too quiet. For me, this is a big problem when recording my YouTube videos, where the microphone on the camera, such as the A5100, isn't that great, but my room and situation for where I'm recording doesn't really suit a condenser microphone which picks up a lot of background noise even if the signal is very clear. So a dynamic microphone is the best option for me. They're very directional, they only really pick up what's happening right in front of them, and the good ones give a very good clean signal with very little noise. But that main issue is that they record very, very quietly. Now, if I'm recording and then editing the audio afterwards like I do for videos like this, what I generally do is that I just take that quiet signal and I boost it up afterwards. But if you're using a dynamic microphone for live streaming, for example, or for video meetings online, you can't change the audio level after the fact because it's going out in real time, which means your dynamic microphone will sound far too quiet. So if you search online for a solution to this, the most common is to use a microphone booster, and the most common suggestion is to use the Cloudlifter. Now this is a microphone booster preamp that supposedly adds about 25 decibels. That'd be more than enough to make the signal sound very clear. So sounds like the perfect solution. Unfortunately, it costs around $150, about £150. Now, for a lot of you, including me, that's even more than I have paid for my microphone. I'm using a Shure SM58 vocal microphone, which only costs around £100. So I was not keen on paying even more just to be able to boost the signal than I did for the microphone originally. I couldn't believe this was the only solution, but remarkably it's suggested so much online I was starting to think it was. So I began to look into cheaper alternatives and I found there are a good few options that are much cheaper available that seem to do the same thing. And in this video we're going to be testing one in particular, which is the Sub-Zero SZ-MB1, which at a glance looks remarkably similar to the Cloudlifter in appearance and in specifications. The big difference, it only costs $30, £25 rather than $150. So in theory, the Sub-Zero MB1 adds 30 decibels in gain. Perfect, almost exactly the same as the Cloudlifter. And I'm glad to say from testing over the last few weeks and the last couple of videos, I think it does work perfectly well for exactly that. I'm not looking for lots of features, I'm basically just trying to boost my microphone signal, and that's exactly what it does. Let's have a quick look at what you get in the box, and then we will do a test with and without the Sub-Zero MB1. It comes in a very plain, unmarked white box with a user manual, which, to be honest, is pretty lacking in information, but it is a simple device and it doesn't really need to tell you that much, I suppose. It's made out of metal and has an XLR cable input to plug in your microphone and an output to your audio interface. Be aware that this device is for using with XLR microphones, such as the ones I've already mentioned in this video. Let's move on to the comparison test, first without the SZ-MB1 and then with. So this is the comparison, first without the microphone booster. I'm not going to add any post-production at all to raise the volume of this signal. This is exactly what it sounds like going into the computer using an SM58 microphone, just with a pop shield in front of it. You can tell that the signal is very clean and there isn't a lot of background noise, but you will have to turn it up a lot to be able to hear it because the signal is so quiet. You can see here as I record just how small the wavelength is there on Audition. And now using the Sub-Zero MB1, you can probably tell straight away how much louder the signal is compared to not having it, but it should still sound nice and crisp and clean without any distortion. You can see on the waveform how much louder the signal is, and in the background, if I just go quiet for a second, there shouldn't be any extra noise being picked up. The only noise that's likely to be picked up is just the sound of environmental sounds like the computer in the background and stuff like that. So overall, I am very happy with the result that you get from this, that it boosts the signal by that much, but doesn't seem to add any extra noise. So perfect for boosting the signal of a dynamic microphone. So I'm very impressed with this purchase and extremely happy I didn't shell out the £150 that it would have cost to buy the Cloudlifter, which seems to do exactly the same job. Just remember that if you're going to pick this up, you need to use an XLR microphone and an audio interface which supports XLR and also has phantom power built in. Phantom power is built into most popular interfaces, such as the Focusrite, Scarlett range, all have it built in. So I'll leave a link to the SZ-MB1 in the description. The other good news is this isn't the only good budget alternative to the Cloudlifter available. There is the Triton Audio Head, which costs around $70, the SE Electronics Dynamite, which is around $80, and the cheapest, which I've only discovered since buying the Sub-Zero, is the Klark Teknik CT1, which only costs around $25. And I'll leave links to all of these in the description as well. Do you use a microphone preamp with your dynamic microphones, or have you got another workaround for this? Let me know in the comments below. And also, have you enjoyed a more audio-focused video? If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. But if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and dropping a like on the video. But until next time, see ya.